Hi everyone, it's EstaRa with a message for you today. It is Thursday, October 19th, 2017. Yes, I got my hair cut a lot shorter than they were supposed to cut. I asked them to cut it shoulder length, so when my hair curls, it would bounce to be about this height. They cut it so it will bounce to be up here. So it's totally not the hairstyle that I wanted, and I am like overwhelmed with it. But hey, it's all supposed to happen the way it's supposed to, so I'm trusting there's a reason for it. I did want it short, so that's actually good. So I'm reaching out to you and letting you all know what's been happening. So in the universe, there is massive changes going on, lots of transitions for people, lots of healings for people, lots of purging, and lots of overwhelming moments for everyone. So I'm going to get a little more serious. I was working with my guides recently about, how can I best help everyone? What is going to be the best gift that I can give to them? And I keep getting, inner child healing, inner child healing. So I'm coming on here, putting it out to all of you because I'd like to know if anybody's interested in participating in something. So several years ago, I want to say 12 years ago to be exact, I probably a little bit longer than 12 years ago, I took a workshop. It was a 6-week online workshop, and it was about healing the inner child. And, I thought, okay, I want to do this. And then as I was getting closer and closer, I was like getting fearful, but I didn't recognize that I was getting fearful. I actually pulled away and ran away from it a little bit. And as I was running away, I kept saying, oh, I don't have time. Oh, I'm not going to be able to fit it in. Oh, it's too late. I can't sign up. And so when I reached out to the person that was running it, they said, oh, no, perfect timing. It's just right. And I was like, damn, because I really was trying to avoid doing the work because that which is most beneficial to me, I tend to resist, which is normal for all of us. Many of us do this. Actually, all of us do this. We just do it sometimes with recognition. Others of us don't know what we're doing. So anyway, I did this beautiful workshop, and it was the most incredible experience of my entire life, actually, because out of all the healing I've ever done, I have to say that 6 weeks was probably the most profound healing that occurred for me. And I did the project a few times for myself, and it healed a lot of childhood abuse that I had. But what's really amazing is shortly after I finished the 6-week project is when I had this amazing meditation, seeing my twin, in the meditation, saying, are you ready? Because here I come. And then within a few months after, that's when I met him. And I was like probably at the height of my energy, meaning I was high as a kite. I was like in love with life. I fell in love with me again and fell in love probably for the first time. I fell in love with me. Probably, I say again, but that's actually not true. I actually think it's the first time I fell in love with me. And from that point forward, my whole life had been different. And it literally was the most pivotal time in my life. And so with that, being said, that's a class that I offer to my Reiki level 3 students. And I always include it in that class for many reasons. One, healing is about us first and foremost. Before we can help others, we have to heal ourselves. And so if we're not doing things to assist ourselves, it means we don't have to be perfect. We don't have to be completely healed, but we actually have to be consciously working on ourselves to better ourselves and to heal ourselves and clear what we can so that we can bring that to others and assist them as well. So I make that part of my program when I teach energy healing Reiki to my students, because I feel like that is like the key to their development and to their opening, their true opening. So this is also a workshop that I offer out to my clients. So the reason I'm mentioning all this stuff to you is one of the biggest issues happening right now for all of humanity is their inner child energy is coming to the surface, like all of that. Pretty much everyone I've worked with in the recent months, there's been inner child stuff surfacing. And their inner child are like actually coming out during sessions and starting to talk to me more. And it's almost like they're front and center, like skewing everything else to the side. And they're like, here I am. I want you to hear me. This is where I'm at. I'm not happy. I want my life different. I want to feel better. So this inner child energy that's coming up right now is so like ready to be healed and to be released and to be set free from old patterns and old behaviors and like literally let go of the past, like let go of things that no longer serve. And it's also happening for all twin flames. And I'm saying that because a lot of the divine masculine is in that space right now. So the divine feminine, we are too. Like our inner child's kicking up and saying, I want this, I want that. I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that. But our divine masculine energies, they're really going through that wounded child moment and really trying to find a way to heal and to better themselves. So I'm letting you know that because I feel like be conscious that we're all kind of in our inner child. We're all scared. We want to feel safe. We want to feel loved. We want to feel like we're going to be okay and that somebody's looking out for us. And so what's interesting is that somebody that's looking out for us is us. We have to look out for ourselves. You know, we have to love ourselves and be there for ourselves. And that goes for even if you're a twin flame. So here's the thing. A lot of times there's been a lot of misinformation on this journey where people think, oh, when my twin comes, everything will be all right. Everything will get fixed, everything. And I have friends that have been on this journey for a really long time, and they actually believe that too. They believe that, well, when he comes or she comes, it's going to be, I don't need to worry about this because everything will be taken care of. And that is such a misinterpretation of this journey because the truth is we're not supposed to like fix each other. We're supposed to help each other. I don't dismiss that. I don't disregard that. But we're not supposed to fix one another. We're actually supposed to be here to be equals, to grow together, and yes, to heal together. But there are certain things that we still need to do to be okay so that we can come into union and so that we don't block ourselves from union. And a lot of us block ourselves from the inner child perspective because there's an inner child in all of us that says, no, I'm not worthy of that. No, I don't deserve that. Or a lot of anger and pain that literally comes up every time they're around their love because it's a trigger and a reminder and a mirror for them. So that's a big piece that's been coming up for people lately. And so I would like to offer this out to everyone. I'd like to offer this as an online workshop. It would be done through a group online, a private group online, and webinars, weekly webinars. And it will be about, I want to say 7 weeks. It would be a 7-week long class. And it's really offered to people who are Reiki Master level. So you need to have Reiki Master level in order to take this class. However, my offer to those of you who are not Reiki level, Master level, and you do want to participate in this, I would be happy to offer you the attunements that are necessary to bring you to the place where you can get those attunements and you'll know what they are. And but I would not sign off on a certificate for you. I would not give you you wouldn't be like a Reiki master per se in terms of doing work because I wouldn't sign off on that. But I would provide the attunements so that you could do this process if this is something that you're interested in doing. So it would be a nominal fee. I wouldn't charge a lot for the attunement piece just because I want to bring you up to speed. The class itself, I haven't come up with how much I would charge, and I have to sit with that because it is a lot of work for me. And it's an intensive 6 to 7 weeks of work. And I say that because when I went through my journey on this inner child project, I went up, I went down. I went up, I went down. I went back, I went forward. I went all over the place. And there's literally times where I would sob so heavy that I was driving my car, I'd have to pull over and just finish sobbing and then wipe my tears and keep going. And then there's times that I was high as a kite, floating on the earth and loving it and thinking, wow, it's wonderful and amazing, and just enjoying all of that. And that was great too. But there's this energy that you really do healing in this journey, and you really do heal with this inner child project. It's extreme level of emotions up and down, but if you are really giving your all to it and this is your intention to heal and clear, then what happens is you will heal and clear and your life will transform. What does that mean for the twin flame journey? What does that mean for your twin flame? Well, what that means, at least from what I experienced, is when I did this, it opened the pathway for us to meet, because prior to that, I didn't have the confidence and the self-esteem perhaps to even meet him, to interact with him in the way that I did. And I believe that it helped him open up to the possibility that there's something more out there and there's something real. You know, he was really bogged down in the life that he was living, that he didn't realize it was possible to have more than what he had. And so I really believe that was a catalyst for us both. You know, even though I did it, it's a catalyst for us both. And this journey is about us individuals, right? So we're together in union. We're meant to be together in union physically because we're already in union. But we each have a separate life that we're living at the moment, right? So if we're not already together in this union, we're separately working on our stuff so we could come together. So us working on us and clearing us and moving us to the next place is exactly in alignment with what needs to happen. And so this is a workshop that I'm really inspired to offer. So I am thinking of offering it in November, bringing us up until the holidays and Christmas or New Year. I haven't decided exactly yet. I'd like it to end before Christmas. And because that way you can go and enjoy your holidays in a state of high and awareness and beautiful love. But it is definitely really deep work, and I don't know if anybody's interested in that. So I'm putting it out to my community, to all of you, to find out what your thoughts are, if that's something that you're interested in, because I do believe inner child healing is really key for a lot of us twin flames. There's a lot of old bonding wounds. There's a lot of old wounds, a lot of abuse in our childhood. And it's interesting. What's interesting about the abuse piece is a lot of stuff happened that we didn't determine to be abuse at the time because we didn't know. We just accepted it as like, well, that's what happens. But that's because we didn't know any better. And so we just assumed that's what happens. And yet later in life, we still carry shame and pain with that. And we wonder, what is that about? And like, why am I still carrying that? So I feel like for the sake of understanding all of this better and to like really get what's going on, I think it's helpful to like recognize that stuff will come up that you might not remember, you may remember, and there'll be an opportunity for you to release and let go of stuff. So I am just offering that out to you. Please let me know. I'd love feedback. So if you are truly interested, email me. My email is inside the link below. You're welcome to put comments here on the video, but I would like to know through email if you seriously have an interest, because I want a group of people. It only works with a group of people, and there is a limit, so there will be a space limit for it, and then I might offer another one later, maybe next year. But I just feel like the time is right, and I got to tell you, it's been coming up in my mind for 3 months now, and I put it off because I was dealing with my own stuff and really working on me, and I didn't think I was ready. And then I don't know, something today just said this is what needs to happen, and I want that to help you guys. So I want to help us. I want us all to be in union. It's time. There's no more time for us to step back and just like, okay, well, it's all in divine timing. It is and it isn't. Like, we need to have an active role. At least that's what I believe. So taking part every day in our journey and being who we are and healing what we need to is going to assist us on that divine timing. What else do I want to tell you about this? So what's been happening right now, the energy between the divine feminine, divine masculine, it's front and center in America on social media, and I'm assuming perhaps in the rest of the world with the news in Hollywood about the sexual manipulation and abuse and harassment by a Hollywood director or producer, I believe. That spurred a whole bunch of conversation. All the stuff that's been happening over the last year has spurred conversation, but it's actually coming to the forefront where you're seeing the divine masculine, divine feminine. It's playing out in the world. What is that? That's like inner child stuff too, by the way, because a lot of this stuff happened to people who are young, and a lot of it has happened to men and women. It's not just women. I believe it. I believe truly that we forget sometimes that it happens to men too. So our divine masculine is likely been involved energetically with this and somehow and is experiencing a reaction to it all as well. If you're a divine feminine, you are probably experiencing a reaction, but if you're also divine masculine, you're probably experiencing it too. And it's playing out on the bigger stage, if you will, because it's a necessity. It needs to happen. It needs to be seen that we are not treating each other as equals. And even in our twin flame relationships, there's a lot of us that have those old roles that we haven't yet shed fully. We still have the belief of like, I am, I'm a female. I need to be calm and sweet and compassionate and nurturing. I can't be angry, can't be upset. And the divine masculine, he could be he can be kind of gruff, but that's okay because I know he's a teddy bear inside. Well, no, that's actually not okay, not acceptable to put us into those roles. We need to be who we are in any given moment. And so it's playing out on the stage in terms of sexual abuse, sexual harassment, because that is actually where a lot of those misconceptions and a lot of those perceptions have been embedded into our society. So they've been there, but they've been embedded even more because they've been carried out further and longer. And so, you know, on a bigger scale and a bigger picture, the Twin Flames are here to assist in changing those roles and changing those perceptions and making them more of a balance of divine feminine, divine masculine. And so as divine feminine, divine masculine, we're likely experiencing stuff in our world where it affects us and it's making us think more about it or deal more with it. So that's a huge piece of what's happening. I made a couple notes because my guides were like, write this down. The other piece that they're talking about is a lot of the, I mentioned earlier, childhood wounds are coming up to the surface. It is so imperative to understand and know inside of you that that is what's happening to your beloved, as much as it may or may not be happening to you. It's happening to them because they are struggling to go to the next level, to go to the next space. And what is that wound? A lot of times people will say to me, I don't know. And we think, I don't know. And I even said, I don't know sometimes because that means I don't know. But when I hear my beloved say to me, I don't know, and sometimes I hear some of my clients say, I don't know, immediately I hear, yes, they do. I hear it in my head so clearly. Yes, they do. They just aren't ready to go there. They're not ready to face that. They're not ready to look at that. And so one of the things that I want to say to you is that if you hear, I don't know, it's simply because the person's not ready to go there. And if they don't know their past, they don't understand it, it's because there's a part of them that's afraid to go there. And the truth is, our divine masculines, divine feminines, we do know exactly what we need to do. And that's literally to clear away any stuff between us. And that means anything within our world and within our field, anything that might have hindered us or blocked us in the past, in this lifetime or previous lifetimes. But right now, I'm getting this really strong energy from spirit that what is being dealt with right now and playing out on humanity's world is what's been happening in this lifetime for each of us. And it's because what's happening in this lifetime for each of us is a culmination of what's been happening in the previous lifetimes on the planet and the previous life experiences on the planet. So this life right now that we're living is a culmination of all of that. And so in order to clear it, we have to go to this lifetime for us. So what's happened to us currently all the way back to childhood and sometimes into the womb of when our mothers were carrying us. And that's because there has been so much that's happened through lifetimes and lifetimes and time on our planet that right now we're being given this opportunity to like literally clear and reset everything. And so we're in that resetting phase. Well, while we're resetting, we still need to get rid of any of those like bleeps and holes that are in the way, and that's the healing of the wounded child. And right now a lot of the wounded child stuff is surfacing for all of humanity, and one of the biggest wounds is a sexual wound, and that happens to children and adults, obviously, but it happens to children at a very vulnerable age. And what I mean by that is it doesn't have to be a full-blown sexual act for a child to have been having sexual abuse. Literally, a sexual abuse can simply be letting a child watch something well beyond the years of their comprehension. And that could be abusive because they don't know what that is, and it could be frightening to them. And they could take that and turn it into something else. And so that's a really big deal of what's happening on the front of the sexual issues that are the abuse and the harassment issues that are being revealed and disclosed to humanity, if you will. Lots of disclosure about that of things that people didn't talk about. And with all of that, it's really helpful to like heal that part of us that's wounded, you know, and it's really helpful to recognize there is that part of us that's wounded. You know, I have dealt with abuse issues in my childhood. I've had to work through that and deal with it. And I use this inner child project I was talking about earlier. I use that to heal quite a bit. And I probably can honestly answer that I did more in that 6 weeks of healing than I did months before. And I credit a lot of the work that I do now with people because I did that work. If I didn't do that work on me, I don't think I could help people the way that I've been able to and the way that I feel I can help somebody now on their journey, because again, if I don't heal my stuff, that becomes a block in my world, and I'm not able to see that for someone else or assist them through that and past that. So I feel like I'm rambling a little bit, and I feel like I'm a little all over the place, but the truth is it's all about healing our wounded inner child and whatever that wound may be. But right now, my guides are saying the divine feminine and masculine, the imbalance is actually front and center for all of humanity to see right now and to work on and work through. And the way it's being presented to us is through sexual harassment, sexual abuse, and there's a power thing with it too. So it's not just about like a man over a woman. It's about an adult over a child. So there, or authority over a child or somebody who feels like they're incapable of speaking up. So that's the other piece of it. But it's all the divine feminine, divine masculine playing out in a sexual way on our planet. And so that will impede many of us in going forward. And if you are in relationship with your twin currently, that may be an issue that you've already resolved, or you're having that issue now, or it might be coming up. And it's not because the two of you are not compatible. It's because the two of you have some stuff left undone and needing some healing from that. So I don't know, I hope this helped you. I hope this gives you some insight into what's happening in the world. But I would love your feedback, and I do hope to come back with another video with more information about other things that are going on energetically. Check out my Facebook page, because you'll definitely find like quick energy updates on there. You can join my mailing list. I do offer specials every now and then, and I will be offering this Inner Child project if I get a good response, if people are interested in really doing this work. I want to just make a caveat there. This is really intense work, and it's not like I'm signing up for a 6-week project. It's going to be really cool. This 6-week workshop, great. I can do 6 weeks of work. It's actually intense work. So you have to be ready for that and be able to dedicate a good chunk of your time to that. And what I mean by that is not like homework, where it's not like a class you're taking that you can just put the homework to the last minute. It's going to expect you to be present in your world. You're going to have to manage your life, work, family, career, whatever is going on, relationships, with the fact that you are doing this work. And typically when we do this work, when I offered it, I would join in and be part of the class. This time I won't be part of the class because I want to be able to be there for each person as best as I can be. And so it's a lot to think about, I realize, and it's a lot to take in, and I would love to have your feedback. So I send you much love, and I wish you many blessings of joy and peace on this journey. And please, by all means, go hug your inner child. Tell them you love them, because that is so important for them to know that. I vaguely remember the times that I went through that period of 6 weeks of healing, and then after that I really started to really fall in love with me and work on me every day for the rest of my life, because I'm still doing that. And I remember this one experience where I was driving, and I swear it was like my little inner child came out and said, "Love me, love me, love me." And I was thinking for a second, I stepped back and I was like, wow, that's amazing. I love everyone else. I give everyone else my awareness and my attention and my beingness, but I'm not giving it to me. And it was amazing. My little inner child was like shouting, "Love me, love me." So your inner child is probably saying, "Love me, and look at me," and yet we're not always seeing it. So I send love to your inner child. May you send love to your inner child as well. And I wish you many blessings. Namaste.